Hey, what's happening guys? This is Shukesh once again, and today I have for you probably the best phone under 10,000 rupees you can buy. This is the Lenovo K6 Power, and so far Redmi 3S Prime is my favorite under 10,000 rupees, but this smartphone has got everything you have on the 3S Prime plus a full HD screen, stereo speakers, and the price is just 1000 rupees extra, which seems reasonable. You can buy this device on Flipkart. I have added the Flipkart link in the description below, so you can use that link. This smartphone is getting sold like hotcakes, more than 1000 devices in every minute. So let's see whether this device is actually as good as the best selling Redmi 3S Prime. There you go, the all new Lenovo K6 Power, and this phone looks and feels almost similar to other Lenovo devices like the Vive K5 Plus, which also has a full HD screen and is priced at 8,500 rupees. But the hardware is not capable enough for full HD gaming, so we have here K6 Power, and it's a perfected K5 Plus with more RAM, more storage, Snapdragon 430 chipset and more battery. But as a result, the phone is really very thick, 9.3mm, but the weight is almost same, 145 grams, so don't even consider buying K5 Plus when you have this device. There you have the pin for ejecting the SIM card tray and some booklets. I want to mention here the SAR value of this handset is quite low. Next we have the earphones, which a lot of other brands don't include nowadays. Of course, you will get a very basic earphone and you will probably buy a new one. So this is how companies save some money and keep the price of the devices low. But again, if you are not a hardcore music lover, then you will find this adequate for everyday normal uses. The earpieces are non-in-ear type and doesn't feel that cheap actually. The 3.5mm jack doesn't have any gold plating, and the remote consists of a push button and the microphone. Next we have the power adapter, and interestingly this is the same adapter you get with Motorola Moto G4 Play, which I will show you later. The output rating is 5.2 volt 2 ampere, that is, it's a 10.4 watt charger. Not bad at all, but of course this is not a quick charger. Next we have here the data cable, which is basically micro USB to USB, and the build quality is really great. That's all in the box, so let's now have a close look at the device itself. Well, the all new Lenovo K6 Power is a metal built unibody device. The look and feel of this handset is very premium, especially the back looks awesome and the finish and details are quite good. I have the gold version, though you can buy dark grey or silver variants. Now, as I mentioned before, this smartphone feels quite bulky actually. It's taller, wider and thicker than other devices in this category like the Redmi 3S Prime, and honestly, if you ask me, I will say the front look of 3S Prime is better. The back is very similar except for the camera part, and as you know, these two smartphones share the same CPU, GPU, RAM and storage. At the top you have the IR blaster on the Redmi 3S Prime, and the loudspeaker on this Lenovo smartphone is stereo with Dolby Atmos sound enhancement. The battery is slightly bigger on the 3S Prime. It's 4100 mAh lithium ion versus 4000 mAh lithium polymer on the K6 Power. Now I want to also show you the Redmi Note 3, which is a much better device actually with Snapdragon 650, and the price is 12,000 rupees, though for 10,000 rupees you can buy the 2GB variant. Now this is Moto G4 Play, another 9,000 rupees smartphone with great camera, but the chipset is Snapdragon 410 with quad-core CPU and mediocre Adreno 306 GPU, which is much inferior to Adreno 505 you have on the Lenovo Vive K6 Power. Though the display on the Motorola smartphone is 720p, it's quite bright and vibrant. I will talk more about the display later. Let's quickly power on the smartphone, and I will try to make some comparisons in between K6 Power and its competitors, so make sure you are subscribed to this channel. While the device boots up, let me give you a quick tour of the exterior ports and design. Below the display you have the capacitive home, back and app switcher. This smartphone sports both proximity and ambient sensors. The front camera is 8 megapixel with Full HD recording. You have the ear speaker grill here, and The rear camera shoots 13 megapixel images with face detection, autofocus and LED flash. The video capability is up to Full HD at 30 fps. There is also a secondary microphone for noise cancellation. The fingerprint sensor is nicely placed, and at the top you have the micro USB port with OTG function. This is the 3.5mm headphone jack. At the bottom you get nothing but the microphone hole. On the left of the phone, this is the power key and the volume rocker, which are kind of flimsy. Last but not the least, you have the hybrid SIM card tray, which I will show you later. Of course, you have the speakers here. Now, as I mentioned before, you have hybrid SIM tray, that is, you can either use 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and a micro SD card up to 256 gig. So this is totally disappointing. Now, this is a 4G LTE smartphone with VoLTE support, so you can use your Jio SIM cards on either slots, that is, both are 4G enabled. There you go, the device is ultimately ready, and as you can see, Reliance Jio is working just fine, so you should be able to make calls using your Lenovo K6 Power. Now the first thing I want to check is the fingerprint sensor, which is at the back just like every other Chinese smartphone, and it's working quite well actually, though I won't say it's very fast, but it's fast enough. And it's working from every angle, so I really don't have any complaint here. Next, let's have a close look at the display, which is the main reason you should get this smartphone over the Redmi 3S Prime. As you know, it's a 5 inches Full HD IPS LCD with 401 ppi, which is totally crazy for a smartphone at this price category. There we have the Redmi 3S Prime, and if you ask me, I will say the Redmi 3S Prime with 720p resolution and 294 ppi is not bad at all. In fact, the viewing angles are considerably better on the Xiaomi smartphone, and it's also sharper with more brightness. I also feel that color rendering is also punchier on the Xiaomi Redmi 3S Prime. So apart from the resolution, I would definitely prefer the Xiaomi smartphone over the Lenovo one. But of course, more resolution is always preferable, especially if you are into VR gaming, and if you look very closely, you might see some difference in the resolution, especially small text looks smoother. But honestly, 720p on a 5-inch screen is not bad at all. In fact, in some cases, Full HD resolution is very important, especially if you are into VR headsets, and if you play a very high quality video or game, you can actually notice the difference in between a Full HD and HD display. Now, what really bothers me on Lenovo smartphones is this raised frame, which doesn't really go with the design flow. It looks kind of cheap, and the front look of this phone is basically ruined by this, and you will never find this on premium smartphones. Budget smartphones might have this raised bezel, but that doesn't look as bad as this K6 Power. But again, this is my personal view, you might like this. In fact, the back of the phone looks awesome, as premium as a high-end device, especially the shiny chamfered edges are looking nice. Overall, for just 10,000 rupees, this Lenovo K6 Power looks and feels decent. Now, before installing any application, let me quickly show you the storage and RAM. You have 32 gig storage and 8.41 gig is used by the OS and the preloaded applications. Now, along with an SD card, you can expand the storage using a pen drive or flash drive. You can even use a hard disk running on external power source. There you go, my 64 gig pen drive is detected successfully. The RAM on this phone is 3 gig, which is excellent for a device in this category. The average memory use is just 0.88 gig, that is 1.9 gig is free for the user, which is more than enough for hardcore gaming, for multitasking. So overall, this Lenovo K6 Power is an all-in-one device with excellent display, excellent storage, RAM and CPU, GPU, etc. The battery and cameras are also promising, though I will talk more about those in the full review, so keep in touch. The UI is quite snappy, though I won't say it's the fastest UI I have seen on a smartphone in this category. I will make a speed test in between K6 Power and Redmi 3S Prime. One thing I have to mention, this smartphone has to push this higher resolution, so the Xiaomi smartphone might be faster. Check the description below for the review link. Now the UI of this Lenovo smartphone is highly customizable. You have this theme center with lots of themes, and you can change the wallpaper, the lock screen style, the app switcher, etc. As you can see, the total look and feel of the phone changed, and you can just swipe for the lock screen themes, the wallpaper, the dial screen, which is really very interesting, the app switcher style, and last but not the least, the color of the theme. In addition to that, you can also switch in between Android and Vive UI under this preference option. Vive UI is more graphics intensive and looks and feels more premium. There are some bloatwares preloaded, though this McAfee mobile security is actually quite useful. Next, let me try the camera. I don't have any idea about the camera quality, but still, let's check the UI and then I will show you some samples. Snapit is the default camera app on this Lenovo device with a smart icon which basically enhances the images. Well, the autofocusing seems extremely fast. This smart engine automatically identifies the scene and provides optimal photo parameters and expert composition suggestions. So this sounds quite interesting. I will try this out and talk more about this in the full review. You can also try these manual functions if you are a photography enthusiastic. Now guys, let me show you the benchmark scores and compare it with other devices in this category. Well, the device on the right is Redmi Note 3, then Moto G4 Play, Lenovo K6 Power, Redmi 3S Prime, and this one is La Eco Li 1S Eco, and all these smartphones here are below 10,000 rupees. The Redmi Note 3 is actually the 16 gig version. And beyond doubt, this is the most powerful device. The Lenovo K6 Power is not even close. The Li 1S Eco is also more powerful than the Lenovo device, and Redmi 3S Prime is very close. The Moto G4 Play is really very weak in the gaming department. Check the description below for a detailed benchmark comparison in between these 5 devices. So this Lenovo K6 Power is as powerful as the 3S Prime. In fact, the score is slightly higher. But interestingly, the Li 1S Eco is more capable than the smartphone, and obviously the Redmi Note 3 is a beast in gaming. There is no other device in this category that can beat this smartphone. The Antutu score is quite good, it's over 44,000, so this Lenovo K6 Power seems like a very capable smartphone. I will make the gaming review as soon as possible. The Geekbench score is again quite good for a device in this category, so under 10,000 rupees this Lenovo smartphone is definitely worth buying. Well friends, we are at the end of this unboxing and hands-on. My first impression of this smartphone is overall positive. I will say I liked the build quality and the design, though the front look could have been better, especially the screen to body ratio. The display quality is also decent. The resolution is superb for a 10,000 rupees smartphone, and the benchmark scores are great. I have shown you that. I have also tried the stereo speakers and they are groundbreaking, one of the best I think, and better than the other 4 devices I have here, but I'm slightly disappointed with the camera quality, especially the noise handling is not as good as I expected. Tomorrow I will try the camera outdoor and make my final verdict. That's all in this review guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope that this video was interesting to watch. If so, then please consider subscribing. I have a lot more videos coming up on this smartphone. You can also check the description below for more interesting videos on these 5 devices I have with me right now. Thanks a lot for watching guys. This is Shukesh signing off. Have a nice day.